Christopher Columbus is often credited with discovering the Americas, a phrase that has been ingrained in history books and popular culture for centuries. However, this simplistic narrative overlooks the complex and multifaceted reality of his voyages and their impact on the world. In 1492, Columbus set sail under the auspices of the Spanish monarchy, though it's important to clarify the context of his journey. The world was already a place of rich and diverse cultures with established civilizations and intricate trade networks. Pre-Columbian presence, the Americas were already inhabited by indigenous peoples long before Columbus's arrival. These lands were home to millions of people who had developed rich cultures, societies, and civilizations. For thousands of years, civilizations like the Aztecs, Maya, and Inca thrived in the Americas. They built magnificent cities, developed advanced agricultural techniques, and created complex social structures. In addition to these well-known civilizations, countless tribes across North and South America had their own unique cultures, languages, and traditions. The narrative of discovery often erases these rich histories. The voyage Columbus, an Italian explorer, was funded by Spain, specifically by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, to find a westward route to Asia for trade. This was a time of great exploration and ambition as European powers sought new routes and resources. The Spanish monarchy saw potential in Columbus's proposal, hoping to gain a competitive edge in the lucrative spice trade. They provided him with 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Instead of reaching Asia, Columbus landed in the Bahamas on October 12, 1492. This marked the beginning of his exploration of the Caribbean, a region previously unknown to Europeans. He later explored parts of the Caribbean, including present-day Cuba and Hispaniola, which is now divided into Haiti and the Dominican Republic. These initial voyages set the stage for further European exploration and colonization. Columbus's encounters with the indigenous peoples of these islands were marked by a mix of curiosity, misunderstanding, and conflict. His arrival had profound and lasting consequences for the native populations. Misconception. Columbus thought he had reached the East Indies, hence the term Indians for native peoples. This misconception persisted for a long time, shaping European perceptions of the New World. Columbus never realized he had encountered a previously unknown continent to Europeans. His voyages opened the door to a new era of exploration, but also to exploitation and colonization. The realization that these lands were not part of Asia but a new world came later, with explorers like Amerigo Vespucci. This revelation changed the course of history, leading to the widespread European colonization of the Americas. Legacy Columbus's voyages initiated widespread European exploration, colonization, and the transatlantic exchange of goods, ideas, and unfortunately diseases. This period, known as the Columbian Exchange, had profound impacts on both the Old and New Worlds. The exchange included crops like potatoes, tomatoes, and maize, which became staples in European diets, and livestock such as horses and cattle, which transformed indigenous ways of life. However, it also brought devastating diseases like smallpox to the Americas. These diseases had catastrophic effects on indigenous populations who had no immunity to them. Entire communities were decimated, leading to significant loss of life and cultural disruption. Though Columbus is historically significant, his legacy is controversial. While he is often celebrated for his role in opening up the Americas to European exploration, the consequences of his voyages were far-reaching and often tragic for the indigenous peoples. The impact of European colonization on native peoples included not only disease but also displacement, forced labor, and cultural assimilation. These actions have left a lasting legacy of trauma and loss. Modern perspectives often acknowledge the contributions and cultures of the indigenous populations who lived in the Americas long before Columbus's arrival. There is a growing recognition of the need to honor and preserve these rich cultural heritages. Today, many people advocate for a more nuanced understanding of history, one that includes the voices and experiences of indigenous peoples. This shift in perspective helps to create a more inclusive and accurate portrayal of the past.